Hindi mawawala sa talakayan ng mga Pilipino, formal man o di formal ang kasaysayan ng Pilipinas. Ngunit bakit ka ba tayo nagbabalik tanaw at muling binubuksan ang pahina ng kasaysayan? Ito ay upang malaman kung saan o paano tayo nagsimula o nagmula. Ang mga pangyayari sa ating kasaysayan ay isa sa mga nagbigay daan upang makarating tayo kung nasaan man tayo ngayon. Ito rin ay maaaring sumalamin sa tunay nating pagkakilanlan, kaya ngayon, muli tayong magbabalik sa nakaraan upang higit na makilala natin ang katotohanan sa bansang Pilipinas.
Narinig nyo na ba ang tungkol sa unang paglalayag o kilala sa Ingles na The First Voyage? Malamang napapyawan nyo na ito noong kayo pa lamang ay nag-aaral sa elementarya o sa sekundarya. Kaya upang malinawan tayo at malaman natin ang mga pangyayari o kaganapan noong unang paglalayag, panoorin muna natin ang introduction ng The First Voyage by Magellan.
Content and contextual analysis to the first voyage around the world. Introduction to the first voyage.
Are you familiar with this man? Have you heard about him before? If your answer is yes, and if you are thinking about Ferdinand Magellan, you are definitely right. Ferdinand Magellan is a Portuguese explorer, and his desire to search for fame and fortune, he set sail from Spain with a fleet of 5 ships to discover a western sea route to Spice Island. The 5 ships are, first, the Trinidad, consisting of 55 crews under Magellan command. Second, the San Antonio with 60 crews commanded by Juan de Cartanega, and the third one is the Concepcion, having 45 crews commanded by Gaspar de Quesada and 2 others. Fourth, the Victoria, with Juan Sebastian Elcano as its captain. The last one is the Santiago, having 32 crews commanded by Juan Rodriguez Cerrada. Ferdinand Magellan discovered what is known as the Strait of Magellan and became the first European to cross the Pacific Ocean. Though Magellan's route to Spice Island wasn't practical Magellan's expedition, it helped in expanding the European geographic knowledge. He found not only massive ocean which is known to European, he also discovered that the Earth was much larger than the previous thought. The voyage was long and dangerous. Out of 5 ships that sailed, only 1 ship returned after 3 years. Although 1 ship was full of valuable spice from the east, only 18 out of 270 original crew returned home. Magellan himself was killed in the battle in Mactan, Cebu against Chieftain Lapu-Lapu. However, Magellan's ambitious circumnavigation of the globe empirically discredited the medieval theory that the earth is flat. The voyage proved that the globe could be circled by the sea.
At iyan nga mga kapatid ang introduction sa unang paglalayag sa mundo ni Magellan. Kung tatanungin ang ilan sa mga hindi pamilyar sa The First Voyage o unang paglalayag, maraming magsasabi na si Magellan ang sumulat nito. Si Magellan nga ba? Bagamat kilala si Magellan bilang kapitan ng nasabing paglalayag, nasawi siya bago pa man makauwi sa kanyang bansang pinanggalingan. Kung gayon, sinong sumulat sa kilalang pahina ng kasaysayan na iyan? Halina't alamin natin.
Information about the author. The First Voyage Around the World by Magellan is about the expedition of Antonio Pigafetta with Ferdinand Magellan. Antonio Pigafetta is a famous Italian traveler and Venetian scholar. He is also known as Antonio Lombrado or Francisco Antonio Pigafetta, born in Vicente in northeast Italy on 1490. In his youth, He studied astronomy, geography, cartography, but studied navigation the most. At around 30 years old, he heard in Serval that Magellan will have expedition and decided to join. The voyage started on August 1519 to Maluku Islands and to the Spice Islands. Antonio Pigafetta served as Magellan's assistant, and he provided and kept accurate record of events in his journal that was later on translated into Cebuano language. Antonio Pigafetta's diary turned into the reason for his 1525 travelogue. His writing is considered as primary source due to him being Magellan's assistant, though he was wounded at the battle in Mactan, Cebu, where Magellan was killed. He is one of the 18 men who successfully returned back to Spain.
Ngayong nalaman na natin na si Antonio Pigafetta ang sumulat sa mga kaganapan sa unang paglalayag at hindi si Magellan, ay mahalagang malaman din natin ang ibang detalye patungkol sa kanyang inilathalang kasaysayan. Ano ang layunin ni Pigafetta kung bakit kanyang isinulat ito? Saan at kailan ito nailathala? At paanong napagtagumpayan ni Pigafetta na isulat ito? Halina't tuklasin natin.
Antonio Pigafetta wanted to document his journey across the globe. He wanted to detail the events and experiences he had during the circumnavigation. Pigafetta's journal became the basis for his 1525 travelogue, the first voyage around the world. Antonio Pigafetta wanted to share the experience of the first voyage to everyone. However, first voyage is a gulf between what Pigafetta sees and knows. Despite such reason, this writing of Pigafetta is still one of the most accepted and reliable records of that battle in the history by the scholars. Moreover, the writing contributed to the geographic knowledge of European and led to the formation of the international dateline. August 10, 1519 is the beginning date of what was said to become the first circumnavigation of the globe. The expedition took 3 years. Magellan's voyage around the world is during the year 1519 to 1522. On September 8, 1522, the crew of the Victoria's anchor in the waters of Seville, Spain, having just completed the first circumnavigation of the world. The journal of Pigafetta that was written during the expedition became the basis of his 1525 travelogue, the first voyage around the world, and was published in Spain.
Bawat sulatin ay maaring magkaroon ng malaking ambag sa lipunan. Ang mga kaganapan na nasaksihan o naranasan mismo ng manunulat na kanyang nailathala gamit ang papel at tinta ay maaaring magsilbing basehan sa pagtuklas ng kasaysayan ng iba. Katulad na lamang ng mga kaganapang nailathala ni Antonio Pigafetta noong sila ay sumampa sa bansang Pilipinas. May mga kaalamang naisulat na naging basihan upang magkaroon tayo ng ideya kung paano ba ang bansang Pilipinas bago pa man tayo makarating sa kasalukuyang panahon. At kung saan nga ba nagsimula ang mga kaganapan sa inang bayan. Kung kaya, mahalagang malaman natin ang mga pangyayari sa paglalayag na iyon. Halina't alamin ang ilan sa mga kaganapan sa paglalayag ni Magellan sa isla ng Pilipinas. Panoorin natin ito.
The first voyage around the world into the Philippine island. Arrival at Samal Island, 300 leagues distant from before-mentioned Island of Thieves. Magellan and his crew arrive at Samal Island, or also known as Samar in the present, on March 16, 1521. Encounter with Fox. March 18, 1521, Antonio Pigafetta recorded their encounter with Town Fox. They are approached by a boat with 9 men and later on by local fishermen. Magellan and his crew was joyfully and warmly welcomed by town folks. They later on exchanged gifts with each other. Arrival in different small islands. On March 25, 1521, Magellan and his crew headed to Suluan and dropped anchor for few hours of respite. The warm welcome. March 28, 1521, Ferdinand Magellan's fleet anchored in Mazawa. Having received a warm welcome from Mazawa's chieftain and its natives. The first Mass. Easter Sunday on March 31, 1521, Magellan had Holy Mass officiated in Mazawa, the first ever Mass in the archipelago. One goal of Magellan was to spread Christianity among natives in the Philippine island. Arrival in Cebu. April 7, 1521, when Ferdinand Magellan and his crew arrived in the Queen City of the South, Cebu. It was formerly called Cebu. The fleets of Magellan was welcomed by the chieftain of Cebu, Raja Humabon, and his wife, Queen Humamay. The Baptismal. Humabon and his wife and about 400 of their subjects were baptized into Christianity on April 14, 1521. They also pledged their alliance to Spain. Magellan gave the image of Santo Niño as a symbol of alliance between the natives and Spain. Battle in Mactan. Magellan spent more than a month in the area trading with local leaders and trying to convert them to Christianity. However, Magellan's plan to claim the whole of the Philippine island for Spain encountered stiff resistance from the other natives, particularly from Lapu-Lapu. On April 27, 1521, Magellan and his men fought with Lapu-Lapu and its warriors. In what is known as the Battle of Mactan, Magellan and his 100 soldiers fought Lapu-Lapu and his 1,000 warriors. Magellan was slain and his body was never found. Only 18 crews survived and sailed with one ship named Victoria flee back to Spain.
At iyan ang mga mahalagang pangyayari sa unang paglalakbay ni Magellan sa isla ng Pilipinas. Subalit, sa pag-aaral ng kasaysayan, hindi basta-basta tinatanggap ang isang akda o gawa na nagsasaad ng mga kaganapan sa nakaraan. Mahalagang alamin rin kung tunay nga ba ang mga nakasulat at hindi gawa-gawa lamang. May tatlong mukha ang katotohanan. Ika nga, ang bersyon mo, ang bersyon niya, at ang katotohanan mismo. Kaya tignan natin ang ilan sa mga pangyayari sa unang paglalakbay at timbangin natin kung ito nga ba ay isang hoax or isang fact.
Hoaxes and Facts in Pigafetta's Journal. 1. Ferdinand Magellan is the first circumnavigator. Magellan was Portuguese but set sail on behalf of Spain. He was a formidable captain, but his crew hated him. Indeed, he set sail with 5 ships to find route to Moluccas, but he didn't end up circling the globe himself. Magellan died before reaching his destination. So it is a hoax. Encounter with Giants. Magellan's men reported encountering 8-foot-tall men on the beaches of Patagonia. Historians have surmised that Magellan's giants were in actuality members of the Tuhelche, natural tall tribe of Indian natives. There's also the possibility that the Tuhelche man suffered from a disorder of the pituitary gland that releases runaway levels of the human growth hormone. So, Encounter with Giants is a hoax. Island of Thieves. Magellan called the island of Guam island of thieves after islanders took whatever they could from his ship as payment. The Chamorro people had this tradition of exchanging gifts. They were misunderstood by Magellan because of their tradition and culture. Island of Thieves is a misunderstanding. Magellan discovered the Philippines. Magellan did not discover Philippines. Prior to his arrival in the archipelago, people had already populated nearly all corners of the island. Various civilizations flourished in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, even before his arrival. So, it is a hoax. Hospitable Filipino natives. Teodoro Agoncillo, Philippine historian, mentioned in his book that hospitality of Filipinos acquired in Malayan tradition. Malay came in Philippines 3000 BC, meaning hospitality is already a part of Philippine tradition even before Magellan came. So, Filipino hospitality is a fact. Philippines, island rich in banana and coconut. Pigafetta was amazed with the coconut in the Philippines. It is because until now, Philippines is the second largest coconut producer and one of the highest trader of banana around the world. It is a fact. Magellan introduces Christianity. Spain introduced Christianity to the Philippines in 1565 with the arrival of Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. Magellan's arrival in Cebu represents the first attempt by Spain to convert Filipino to Roman, but failed to do so. It is hoax.
Hindi maiiwasang may hindi pagkakaunawaan o maling detalye ang maisulat patungkol sa isang bagay, lalo na kung hindi pa nasasaksihan ang kabuuan nito. Maaaring magkaroon ng bias opinion, lalo na kung ang isa ay bumabase lamang sa kanyang sariling pangunawa at isip. Noong isinulat ni Pigafetta ang patungkol sa unang paglalayag, ay bumase lamang siya sa kanyang nasaksihan at nalalaman. Subalit, may mga bagay na higit pa sa nakikita ng mata, kung kaya mahalagang maitama ito upang mabawasan ang pagkalito at pagtatalo. Ngayon, atin namang tingnan ang ilan sa mga bagong tuklas na kaalaman patungkol sa unang paglalayag sa mundo ni Magellan.
Sa ating muling pagbabalik-tanaw, may mga nalaman tayong panibagong impormasyong nagbigay sa atin ng linaw na siyang naging daan upang maitama natin ang dating paniniwala sa nakaraan. Hindi lahat ng nakikita ng mata ay siyang tama at hindi lahat ng naisusulat ay siyang tunay. Mahalaga ang pagsasaliksik upang higit na maunawaan at mabigyang linaw ang mga katanungan patungkol sa kasaysayan. Huwag basta-basta magpapadala sa sinasabi ng iba. Matutong alamin kung tunay at lehitimo ang iyong mga binabasa. Maraming salamat sa pakikinig at hanggang sa muli mga kapatid.